Transformers reviews, tech and the news, whatever else I use as a muse. Hit subscribe, I appreciate the views. Influences interest on YouTube.
What's going on, people? This is Inflewence, and I'm back with a review of Mastermade's Devastator, which is their demolisher. And let me see. I don't know these guys' individual names. I don't even think they have individual names. And I'm lying. They do. You got Dumper and Auto Crane, which is very unoriginal. So, but you know these guys, Long Haul and Hook. So I guess that's not as great either. But that is their G1 names, and that's what they will be referred to as. So you know with Mastermade, they're made in, I guess, I mean, and that's a conversation to be had about Masterpiece. What is Masterpiece? This isn't Masterpiece, but it's made with a quality that maybe a Masterpiece collector will be used to. It's more of a, I guess, a legend scale, but it's really it's super deformed. So if you know the super deformed, there's a few things out there. Mastermade is probably the most famous that I know of. However, I know Magic Square came out with one. I did a review on their RC. First, let me show all of the guys together. See a picture of that. And they look good together. They're cohesive. They look like they all come from the same bunch. Same type of aesthetic as they should. So then let me compare, and put it this way, and compare to, this is Cerebros from Mastermade, which as you see, they're basically the same. They're on the same platforms. Just got some remolding, re everything. But I like what they've done. I thought this was a great figure, but the Constructicons are really, really good. I'm gonna show some comparisons later. And here's a regular Legends figure. Like I said, I don't consider these Legends. They're like in their own little world. Just so you can see how tall they are. They are tiny. Not super tiny. They have good proportions as far as what they're supposed to be proportioned. Like, you know, their proportions are out of whack, but that's what they're supposed to be. And then let's compare these to a Masterpiece so you can get a good size. I think I'll compare them to everything. So you get a good size comparison, just in case you were wondering. Pretty chunky bots, as they should be, as they're supposed to be. Mastermade kind of gives me vibes of Fans Hobby, I think, who did Overlord, G1 Overlord, and all those. I think that's Fans Hobby, just because of their aesthetic, the plastic, and also the tempos. Let's take a little closer look. You see his head sculpt. I think they did a good job on that. The paint, as usual with Mastermade. Now, these figures do have some flaws. They do have some pins that come out. I can't remember now. Hopefully they don't come out when I'm transforming this now. But it's not this one, but I can't remember which one it is that I did have an issue with the arm falling off. I think it was Hook. I think maybe. No, it wasn't Hook. One of theirs arms fall off or fold, and the pin came out. But then I saw how it was pinned in, and the pin is tight. I just pulled it like really, really hard, so it's just halfway my fault. I don't think pins should be coming out no matter how hard you pull it, but I'd rather the pin come out than have it break, which I think is a good thing. See the bottom of the feet. Long haul is really just really simple. as he is usually, because he got to pull, and he's chunky because he got to pull the double duty. I do like how they both, or all of them, have their weapons integrated into their vehicle modes, and you don't have to have them. You can integrate them into the bot mode as well without them holding them. So yeah, let's get into articulation and transformation. So his arms, he has these where he can go out that far. It's not really designed. It's really due to transformation. And this is his arm. Then he has that. He can go up there. He can't really get his arm out anymore. He can move his arm all the way around. This does get in the way, so you do have to move it out. He has an elbow, gets you 90 degrees. His head is on a ball joint, but it's so big, it runs into stuff. It gets caught on stuff. You can try to move stuff out the way. He can move it all the way around. But as I said, he has a big head. These things move. This is more the skirts for Devastator, but you can have it out like that if you want a wider chest. I like it like this because it differentiates different. It looks different from Devastator. Let's put it that way. So we see we can do the hurdles, even though he looks super deformed as he should, because that's what they are. He can do this. Not really. The splits. All these joints are tight, and I'm glad they're tight here because he has to support the legs, the weight of the Devastator's legs. But he has a knee, and it does kind of all mesh together. You can't really tell what's what, but it's good that they thought about that. And he has an ankle pivot. Now this stuff will come apart because it splits apart for combine mode. Then let's look at his articulation. We can take his weapon out because it's pretty big. And on the box they show it underneath, but you can put it underneath, and then you can get the bend, the elbow bend. You put it over top, you can't really bend the elbow because it's so big. So he has 90-degree elbows. These things can get up like this. I just have them wherever. You can put them in the back if you need to. You can spin his arm all the way around. You can put these like this. He does get his arm up, but it runs into his head. You can move it like that and get the arm up a little bit more. His head's a little bit better as far as being on a ball joint. You can get side to side. You can get all the way around. You can get up, and you can get a little bit of down with the ball joint and a little bit of play that you get. Waist does have waist. I don't think I showed waist with him. Does he have waist? I thought he had waist. I think no, he doesn't have a waist. Due to him being the main torso, he doesn't have a waist. Fists do move. They are fixed. He has the knee, gets you 90 degrees. Feet go up, down all the way. They do pivot. That's good. He has independent heel spur that goes up and can go down and all the way in. Kind of do the transformation. And see, all this stuff gets in the way because it's just the aesthetics of him. So he can do splits, and he can also do the hurdles somewhat. His front foot might clip. But yeah, and he has the thigh swivel. So he has good articulation. The only downfall in articulation with these characters are just the designs of them. Because of the way they're designed, the super deformity of their design, it's just what it is, and it's supposed to be that way. It's not like it's a flaw of the actual design. It's just how it's supposed to be. So let's get them into vehicle mode, and then I'll go combine mode. So these guns, they integrate back here into the top of like the canopy over the cockpit. You put them back there. You move this back like this. As you get this head together first, get these ears out. And it's not really super complicated, but it is a little complicated. Move these back, move these back. And my thumb is jacked up from these figures. Move this back like that. Then you can move this thing around, but his face stays forward. It kind of covers it up. If I can get it. Then you want to leave it like that, because this becomes the front of the truck. I think some of the stuff they have on here is great. Move this down. This is kind of tight. It's pegged in there. You kind of move it down here like that. These you just flip. And it's pretty much where it needs to be. This move up here like this. You see his whole body moves. Then you can move his face down. This flop around. You just want to keep it, and you'll hear that click, and then it'll keep it from flopping around. Now you want to move this up here like this, because it'll peg in right there. But you'll see. It's kind of just does it. It's like the bumper. So I leave it like that, because then you want to get these arms together, and these arms are going to grab onto there. So you might want to move this down like this. I just get it so I know. I move this down here like that, because then you got it where you need the wheels to be. Just so you don't forget, because this is really where it needs to be at. Move this back just to get it kind of. You'll see everything has a place. Now with this, move this like this. You want to turn this so the wheel, turn the arm this way, then bend it in order to get it to grab that notch in there. And see, I didn't do that right, because that has to go up, which it is kind of tough to do, because everything's so little. Now you see that shoulder pad's up, so it'll fit in that little cavity. And that's all you want, is stuff to fit. It kind of happens automatically, you know, once you do it once or twice. Same thing over here. I'm gonna move this like this. That in there. So to fit in that cavity. Now, peg this in there. Not really, well, yeah, it's pegged in. But it just fits in that little space. You see. Now straighten out these wheels. And this is why I didn't want to do all of them in one video, because it does take a lot. Got peg there that goes into the back. Doesn't peg the greatest, but you can get it better than I got it. And that's pretty much it there. And you see, it's kind of like representative of of it. It's not exactly look wise. Doesn't exactly look like it. Let me see. Underneath, you see everything. Wheels. It does roll. It can clip on here. I'm not sure. I couldn't tell if I had this right, but I think I do because there's nothing else you can really do with it. If you get everything where you need it to be and it's exactly pointing in the right direction, you're good. So you get it moving. Got some nice tampos. The guns, I like that the guns are integrated. It doesn't look crazy, and they still, you can still use them as guns or consider them as guns. You got some tampos. Got some paint, caution paint. I love the yellow and greens and red, like breakup. Like it gives it enough. The Constructicons was always just green, all green, always. Even here, you want to check his head sculpt. You just get his arms situated, pull these down. The wheels go down, so then the fists are going to stick up. So you just want to get it like that. Again, over here, it's not super hard. Fist going to stick up, and you want that pointing out because it's kind of, blends in with it. So then I'm going to get that out because it's going to separate. Spin this around like this. You can move these in just so they're not in the way. Just move them up. You get this right here. It's pegged on. You want to get it out. Take his hook thing, put it there, and then you can move this out of the way like this. Because then this is going to peg in. That peg is going to peg in there. So you can get it the long ways pegged in. Now you want to, not pegged in good. Yeah, it's pegged in now. Pull this out. And just from these being so small and so intricate that it can get difficult. But this little flap, you want to peg in there, and then this side pegs in on the other side, just like the first side. Gives it the little cohesiveness in the middle. Then you can bring this down here, and you don't really have to worry about it because now we want to get these arms situated. And the way these arms work, they're just on these bars that you want to pull down and then pull that, and you want to move this like that as you're going down. So you want everything situated like this, with the wheels, of course, where they're supposed to go. Over here is the same way. Just pull down, pull this back up, pull down, move this. You gotta kind of move it before you put it into the spot. Then there's tabs where you can actually tab in the wheels so they're not moving all around. There you go. And then this thing will flop around sometimes. But this turns into, move that like that, and you move this down, and it hides the head and also becomes the canopy. Where the driver sits. Then this pegs in right there, and it kind of makes cohesive. Then you can bring this hook out, flip around, and there you go. You have hook. Again, is representative of the character. It's kind of not exact. This doesn't move. I thought it did, but it does have the pistons. got the hook here. The hook moves like that. You can move this up and down. Also move it to the side, to the other side. It rolls around. Got the little breakup of yellow. Got the tampos. Got the caution. Well, ain't really no caution, but it's these are kind of caution. Kind of lights, headlights, tail lights, side. Oh, and the wheels are rubber. It's like a harder rubber, but they are still rubber. Now to get these guys in combine mode, which is a little intricate, but it's not bad. So this, you want to move down to the bottom. I'm gonna move this out like this out like this. If I can remember, want to move these wheels inside. They're on like a hinge that goes to the inner. I think that's great. It's a cool little touch. Push this down. Want to move this like this. Get this down here like this. It kind of covers up his face. That's what it's for. Doesn't cover it up great, but it does cover it up. So now when you get this like this and you move that down, you see how you can move that. This right here, when you do that, this post will go in there, and this right here kind of sit in here. It doesn't really peg in there, but you do have to peg that into this little post. Same over here. You don't really have to, you can just do that, but it's just easier if you move it this way and then bend it down, then bring it up and peg that. You'll see what I'm talking about. Peg that into there. So you want this fold, you can just fold this up and put it like this, and then this just goes down like that. And then you're almost ready. Actually, I guess I can do what you need to do with this. They tell you to wait. Well, you're gonna flip these up too. It's basically where the arms are gonna go. Then this goes into here and covers up the head and gives you the chest plate. You can do all this stuff. It's probably better to do all this beforehand because it can fall apart while you're trying to connect everything if you don't do it first. So then you can make sure everything's in there like that. And you see, you can't really see his head. It does a good job covering it up. And now you're ready to get everything together. Again, just move these up, move this back. I don't know where this goes. I think it's like this, but you can move it like that too. Just gives you a little bit more leeway of what's happening. So this, you can move this up, kind of bring it down, bring this out. See this right here, bring that out so you can tab this here and it stays. Actually gives it a little rigidity. There we go. Just like that. Then you can move this down. Don't move that out yet. Just move this down. I just move it up just to get it out the way. Now these inside panels move out, and then you want to move them down. They don't really play a part. I think they just give it a little rigidity and get it out of the way. So you move another panel out, then move it down. It's really like a cover. And then this, you move out. It's on a hinge. Move this out like this. And you move it up. And then this little tab, that's a tab. It goes into the side of the leg right there. And you can move these tires back if you want. I mean, I guess it's up to you, depending on the look that you want. I want the tires on the side, but you can leave them like that if you want. It's all up to you. This, I make it look a lot harder than it is. Once you start doing it, you understand where it's going. But it is a lot going on. I'm gonna leave this like this. We'll move this down here. This is how you want this to look. Like this. These arms, you can move it down. You want it you want them like this. See how I did that? And out here. Again, show you over here. I'll show you from the back. It's not really, they're not really hidden. They're just moved out the way. So you, again, you want them straight back. Move this down so you can get, that piece is pretty hard, but then you move this out and you want the arms like that. And that is basically it. Now you could combine these two together now. You can do it now. It don't matter. Directions tell you do it later, but it's probably easier to do it now. So after you get all these together, then everything will be tight. See how that flew up in there, and then you can keep it open. All that. It keeps the arms from really moving. And you have the torso. So there we go, ready for the next components. All right, so if you like this video, I appreciate you watching to the end. Again, I will be doing 2 more in the next video. I don't know which 2. Probably the legs, just so we can get some uniform action going on. But I will get up with you in that video.
Life ain't over, life ain't over, life ain't over. As long as you alive, you can give another try and take it real high if you want.